Hey, how you all going? It's Jai, that Aussie metal guy here with Crank.com and with that metal station. And today I'm getting to have a chat with Max Malmer from Cavern Deep, Subterranean Doom Metals, who recently released their debut album on 23rd of July through Interstellar Records. It's a really cool listen, man. Thank you very much for joining me to talk more about it.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah.
First off,
Uh,
dude, can you tell me how did the band start?
we formed in 2019, and it was Kenny in the band's our lead guitarist's idea. He just called me up and one day and told was like we need to start a doom metal band, and I was like, yeah, because I played in a lot of bands previously, a lot of metal bands, but I've never played anything that slow, and I've always been the guy in the band like writing slow songs, and I've been listening to doom metal for quite some time. Uh, so uh, yeah, so we started up in 2019. Kenny started writing songs pretty early on. We pretty much had all the basics for an album written the summer of 2020. So that's when we started to rehearse about a year ago or so. So we're a pretty new band,
Yeah,
so to say.
I did check out some of the other bands that you were in, man. Very, very bloody cool, and that good skimming. And that is it. Did I pronounce it right, man? That's some groovy stuff, eh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Gudaskymning is Kennis and Dennis, the other two
Yep.
members,
Okay.
previous band, and but I was the producer of that band, so that's how
Ah,
we met. Is that I recorded their previous three albums, I think. Um, they decided to put that band on the shelf, and when that
yep.
happened, we started Cavern Deep. I was previously in a band called, or I am still. We're just a bit inactive. A band called Sonaria,
No, yeah.
here from Umeå. So that's my background.
Yeah, that's one's cool as dude. I enjoy. That's the thing when I do these interviews and I come across bands like yourself, it gives me a chance to dive across to some of the acts because some of you guys are so busy. You have various bands on the go, and with this Cavern Deep, it's a really great doom metal album. But you've also put a lot of thought into the storyline as well. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. We are all very into concept albums, and we have done a couple of them. It's Kenny who writes the gist of the story, and yeah, so it all evolves around the story. We write, as of now at least, we write stories, and then we write music to the stories. To like try and capture the atmosphere of the storytelling. So and we do all of the art and animations as well. So I'm the one doing the digital art stuff, and like
Yep.
the all of the basics, like the paintings, is Kenny. So yeah, yeah, we the album is about 50 explorers in a some given timeline. It's supposed to be like in the start of the 20th century, at some point, and they find a portal down into a lost civilization of some sort, which they explore, and it doesn't go well for them. Check. I'd recommend people check our YouTube channel out. We have a like a kind of an animated lyric video ish kind of thing,
Yep.
which like embellishes the story, and you can just follow the entire synopsis and everything for each song on that video. It's a like music video for the entire album, basically.
Yeah, and the thing about good doom metal albums, you can create that story around the album as well and the music. It seems to fit very well with doom metal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think in general, doom metal fans are pretty nerdy people, and we, of course, in the band like our Dungeons and Dragons and that kind of stuff. Just adventure type games overall, like role playing RPGs, MMORPGs, and stuff. So. Um, I think it's very easy to create that atmosphere with doom metal as well, right? Because if you watch like a fantasy movie or play an RPG game, you usually don't have fast-paced music that much. Maybe in like a combat scene or something, but not so much when you're just chilling about or actually role playing. You want like mellow, slower music, and that's just what doom metal is. So I think that's why um, it works so well,
Yeah.
basically.
How's the live scene going over there in Sweden at the moment? Like, are you guys able to play live? Has Cavern Deep got some shows lined up, or what's happening over that side of the world?
Yeah, so here in Sweden, the vaccination rate is really good. We basically we have just gotten rid of all restrictions like a
Nice.
month ago or so. So yeah, there's shows now, and people are really psyched to go see shows as well. So that's great. We have our release gig together with Domkraft, Mahasuhono, and Från Mars in 2 weeks, and it's almost sold out. We have a couple of tickets left, but yeah, so very much looking forward to that. A lot of people going out to see shows, and the there's a lot of excitement for it. So that's going to be fun. How are things in Australia now?
Yeah, well, we're just opening up again. December, I think, is when everything's going to be open up. Like, and we're starting to take in internationals, and hopefully next year, we will have the big international bands coming back. The live scene's going well. We've had like a lot of restrictions, and Melbourne was the longest lockdown city in the world. I think they were 230 days in
Oh wow.
lockdown. So I'm just really keen for the live music scene to kick off all over the world, because I know that it's been hard for artists, especially in the underground scene, because live music is a big part of the scene. You know what I mean? Getting to
Yeah.
those shows, making those connections with fans, and then them buying music and merch. Because I know I'm one of them. I'd go see these shows, and then I'll go over and have a drink with one of the band members at the merch stand, talk shit for a bit of music, buy a shirt, buy a CD, and it's something that a lot of bands and fans have really miss, but it has been good and encouraging to see people buying music and buying albums and merch, which has really given me a lot of fucking. I know how good the metal
Yeah.
scene is, but it was really good to see that as well going through the last couple of years that people were still buying stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The support for the scene in general has been been great, I think, and it's really shown through, especially in the heavy underground scene, that people really stick up for one another. I am like engaged in a lot of music scenes as a producer. And I just have to say it's not like this everywhere. Some of the um, some scenes have it much harder because the underground support system is just not the same as it is in this. So it's great to see. I totally agree.
Yeah, I think that being like said, that the underground scene, we all realise that some of these big digital platforms are taking advantage of some of the artists and the music as well. So more so in the metal community, and there's the punk community will go and buy albums and music because we know that it's going to the bands and supporting the scene. Whereas you're saying in some of the other scenes, they're more likely they'll just go download shit, listen to it on one of those streaming platforms and not give a rat's ass. But the metal community, we're good for supporting.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's been great. It has.
Is
Yeah.
that it's this launch show? Is that the first show for you guys together?
Yeah, so we have on our YouTube channel, we have like a set where we
Yeah.
play just a live set in my studio. So but that's like the only thing we've done in any capacity. So it's actually our first live show. But we are experienced
Oh yeah,
musicians after
I
all.
definitely.
But it's still, it's still a bit nervous. We haven't played as Cavern Deep live before, so that's going to be an interesting experience. And if all goes to plan, you're gonna be able to see the whole show on YouTube after a while. We're recording it. We're not broadcasting it live, but we're recording it for YouTube.
Awesome! I can't wait to see it. It's going to be a real show, good show. You must be really excited to get and just play a show live to people again as well after the last couple of fucking years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I've played a couple of shows already
With the other.
with like small or small a progressive orchestra which I'm in, but that's more like jazzy chill music, So it's not as the same as having like a metal or a rock show.
Yep.
You just engage the audience in a completely different manner when when you play metal.
Yeah, and with the
So
doom metal, like you've released through Interstellar Records, that's a label that I've the last couple of years that I've come across a lot of doom metal. I was never, I knew doom metal bands, but I've never gone down that road before. But the last couple of years, I've come across so much bloody doom metal, and a lot of it's come out through Interstellar Smoke Records as well. They've got some great doom metal acts, that you don't, that people really need to jump over and check out as well.
yeah, it's a cool label. Jacek does a lot of bands. He's very productive, and I don't think he really gives a shit about the band's size or like if they're popular or not. He
Yeah.
just like, oh, this is a cool album. I want to release it. Can I release it? So he's a very cool dude. And yeah, he for sure got a lot of cool vinyl releases. There's still some copies of our vinyl left, so that you can buy that if you'd like. But otherwise, I'd recommend the new Lagoon album. It's very cool. Kind of, I don't know how to. It's stoner rock, basically psychedelic rock. Really good. Ortega has a couple of records that's available over there. They are as well a very different kind of band, so I'd recommend checking that out for sure. So yeah, there's a lot of cool things going on there. That's for sure.
Yeah, I did see that vinyl as well. I watched a little bit of the video over there and the unboxing on YouTube as well, and a couple of the other vids. I do recommend people go and check out that YouTube channel as well. Mate, do you have any last words or shout outs or thank yous before we sign out tonight?
So I would recommend go check our YouTube channel out. We're gonna do some really cool stuff over there. We're releasing a cover of Frank Zappa's and Captain Beefheart's Muffin Man in 2 weeks' time. over there, and it's going to be exclusively on that platform. And we have also recorded a new album, so it's going to be there's going to be a studio diary there at some point,
Sweet.
and I'm actually making together with Kenny uh, basically a text-based adventure game, like a computer game for it. And the plan is to stream it on YouTube, like the development process.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so I'd recommend go subscribe because there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff. And if you like the music and like the band, it's a good way to get like teasers for what's to come.
And keep an eye on further explorations of the Cavern Deep, that's for sure.
Yeah,
No worries, Max. Thank you very much for joining me, mate. You have a lovely evening.
same to you, man. Bye
Cheers.
bye.